From Long Beach Parks Recreation and Marine Department headquarters in El Dorado Park West, this is the Parks Make Long Beach series, a video series highlighting the people, places, programs, and partnerships that make Long Beach parks. You can follow us on social media at #ParksMakeLB. I'm Meredith Reynolds, the Park Planning and Partnerships Manager, and I'm joined today by Brent Dennis, the Director of Long Beach Parks Recreation and Marine. We're going to be your host for today's episode on the people who make parks. Brent, if you want to say hello. Excellent. Long Beach Park has 170 parks, 6 miles of beach, and over 3,200 acres of open space. We have the largest municipally operated marina with over 3,100 boat slips and have over 1 million visitors a year to our parks and even more that participate in our programs. Our open space is so fundamental to who we are as a community that it is literally the city's namesake. A park system as extensive as this also involves high quality recreational and educational programs led by amazing staff members who provide these programs to our community. We have some of the amazing staff that make these exciting programs possible, and today's episode will highlight some of our team members who are the people that make parks. So today we're going to start off at introducing our staff with a lightning round. So as we call on you, please introduce yourselves by sharing your name and your job title, how long you have worked for the department, and your favorite Long Beach park or program. And today we'll start with Joy Warren. Welcome, Joy.
Hello, glad to be here. So my name's Joy Warren. I'm a recreation superintendent, and making me choose a favorite program is like making me choose a favorite child. So they're all, I'm in love with all of them, but I do have a special place in my heart for our youth sports program because that happens to be the program that I started in as a recreation leader, and I have had a wonderful 26 years with our department.
Excellent. All right, let's go on next to Junie. Welcome, Junie.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Meredith. Well, my name is Junie Salcido, and I'm the supervisor, and I oversee our citywide esports program. And I've been with the city for almost 30 years. And my favorite program, like Joy, I would probably say youth sports. And my favorite park is Somerset Park. Somerset Park means a lot to me because that's where I got my start as a rec leader. And that's where things were exposed to me that led me on this path where I am today.
Wonderful. We have a couple longtime staff with us today. Let's move on to Heidi. Heidi, thanks for being here.
Thank you. So I'm Heidi Mosses. I'm a supervisor at Houghton Park in the Senior Expo Center. I've only been with the city 5 years, so I'm the newbie. But my favorite program is just senior programs in general. I love working with the seniors, so that's just kind of my heart and soul.
That's great. Thanks, Heidi. Let's move on to Sherlyn. Welcome, Sherlyn.
Hello, and thanks for having me. I am Sherlyn Beatty, and I'm a supervisor for our RAP Expanded Learning Programs. I've been with the city for 5 years, so I am the other newbie along with Heidi. But I will say that my favorite program, of course, it's our RAP Expanded Learning Programs. But aside from that, I really would say that my favorite park location would be our nature center. I just love going to the nature center. It's a place of peace, tranquility, where I can just kind of get my thoughts. Thanks.
Wonderful. And let's go over to Sophia. Thanks for being here today, Sophia.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. My name is Sophia Hojat. I'm a recreation leader with our citywide senior programs. I've been with the department for 7 years and counting, and hands down, my favorite city program is All City Beach Day.
That is such a wonderful day where we bring all of our kids down to the beach. It's quite an experience to see. All right, and then last but not least, Rhiannon, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Rhiannon. I have actually worked for the city for 11 years. I am a recreation leader for the city, and I think my favorite park would have to be Wardlow. I was a young kid there, grew up over there, worked there for 10 years.
It's so nice to see folks who started in our programs as youth are now here working with us and sort of educating and recreating with our next generation. So from our 30-year employee to our 5-year employee, we have so many special moments that make a part of our day and our week and our years. So I'm going to ask you a little bit about, some of these memorable times. And so we'll start with Sophia. So Sophia, can you tell us what is a particularly special or memorable time during your program that has helped make the park experience better for someone?
While I was working at the El Dorado Senior Center, we got a call from an older gentleman who lived in the surrounding neighborhood, and he was upset. It was a noise complaint. He said that the music coming from the park was too loud. So I apologized for the disturbance, and I told him the music was part of an annual senior picnic we did out on the grass, and that we were just about wrapping up, And he was kind of curious, so I took that as an opportunity to engage with him. I said, yeah, we have a band that plays every Monday and Wednesday as part of our senior programs, but don't worry, it's indoors, so it won't be as loud as today was, but you're welcome to stop by anytime. And he had said he'd lived in the neighborhood for quite some time and didn't know that we had senior programs like that, and definitely didn't know that we had a live band that would come and play music for them to dance. But that very next week, he showed up to the dance. He continued to come every Monday and Wednesday. He won that year's Halloween costume contest, and we haven't had a noise complaint from him since.
That's excellent. Oh my goodness. There's so much that we do that not a lot of people know about. And it's so nice to hear when, we share that information with our community and they come out and they have such a lovely time. That's a great story. Let's think a little bit about what makes you spring out of bed every morning and come to work. What is one word of the year that motivates you? And so we'll start with Heidi for this question.
Thank you. So I actually, both of them kind of go together for me. So my word is purpose. I think, this year with everything going on, all my programs, I want to plan them with a purpose. The purpose maybe being, what the community needs, or, what's going on in the world. Also, basically what gets me out of bed in the morning, like I could never imagine doing a job that I hated to do. I kind of come to work better sometimes than staying at home. So, but it's just great to get here, the interactions with whether it's the kids, the seniors, my staff who are great, just providing those programs and services, So I definitely want to plan all of our activities, events, programs, classes for seniors, with a purpose this year. That's kind of my goal in a sense. So.
Great. That's great, Heidi. All right, let's go to Junie. What makes you spring out of bed in the morning, and what is your word of the year?
Sorry about that. I couldn't unmute. I apologize about that. But I think what keeps me motivated is that I know the work that we're doing in our department is really having an impact for everybody here in the city of Long Beach, especially during these difficult times. Listening to what Rhiannon's doing, Sophia's doing, Sherlyn, Joy, and Heidi, what you've done, Meredith, it's really been inspiring. My peers continue to make me feel like I have to match what they're doing. And I know that the programs that I oversee, youth and adult sports, have a huge impact. So that always keeps me motivated, as I know that we're making a difference. And then, of course, the word of the year for me, it's one of our youth sports pillars, and that's perseverance. You could probably see it right there. That's really important, and we all need a little bit of that right now, and it's got to carry us through until we're back to a little bit of normalcy, right? So perseverance for me, we've needed it.
Absolutely, we sure have. Joy, why don't you go next? How do you spring out of bed every morning and come to work, and what is your word of the year?
I'm trying to remember the last time I sprang out of bed. But what makes me want to come to work is really, I think I said I started with it, is teamwork. I know that definitely the residents count on us for a number of different programs. We are essential to them, and it's what makes our community not just get through the day, but thrive, really. And I think second to that is really the staff, because I know that I need to be there to support them so that they can turn around and be that point of service for our different residents and neighbors. That's what gets me springing out of bed. And I think I have to say, I'd be remiss not to say it, but I think our word of the year was reimagined. we really had to reimagine how to get our programs and services to the residents that I just talked about, because we are sorely needed. We're sorely missed as far as in-person activities, and we are ready to serve and provide that reimagined service for right now, but eventually hopefully we'll be opening our doors to so much more.
Excellent. Thank you, Joy. Rhiannon, tell me how you spring out of bed and what your word of the year is.
I think mine will kind of go together. I am always looking forward to coming to work and just kind of thinking of new things that we can do, new different ideas, opportunities that we can take. So my word is explore, because I think overall just opening up for different things, exploring different paths that we could go on is really something that I look forward to doing more of this year. I've started a little bit, but I think that there's just so much that we could be offering along with all the great programs that we're already doing. So I look forward to exploring more and figuring that out.
Excellent. Sherlyn, why don't you go next? Tell us how you spring out of bed every day and what your word of the year is.
So for me, it's really the people. So people is what gets me to get out of bed. It's the relationships that we build here with our coworkers. We really, especially during this time, really have been a support for each other and cheerleaders for each other, really. So we are not just coworkers or family here, but then it's also the people we meet out in the community and the families we're able to reach. So it's the people, that's what gets me out of the bed and gets me going. But my word of the year, and it's kind of always been my driving force, it is the word believe, because it's believe in yourself, believe in others, believe in possibilities and what can happen. So I always just kind of believe that you can always do a little bit more, and there's always a way. It's kind of my thing. Okay, here's a challenge, but there's a way, and we believe that. And so that's my driving force.
Thanks, Sherlyn. Sophia, what makes you spring out of bed every morning and come to work, and what is your word of the year?
Definitely. I am so motivated by the idea that people choose to spend their free time with us. I mean, especially, I work primarily with older adults, and there are so many ways older adults can be spending their golden years, but when they come to our facilities to share a meal with us, to celebrate their birthday, to enroll in a class, to just come play, I feel so honored by that. And so that's what motivates me to develop programs and offer services to show them we value them and their time. But my word of the year that constantly comes up for me is connection, whether that be connecting people to resources or services, or finding ways to connect with each other, or connecting with ourselves and what really matters. That's been my word, connection.
You all have such great words, and we'll wrap up with our director. Brent, what makes you spring out of bed every day to come to work, and what is your word of the year?
Oh, that's great. Thanks for including me. So I was born on May 29th. So before I go to bed every night, I say, Alexa, wake me up at 5:29. So I wake up, I spring out of bed right at 5:29. So I catch the 5:30 news on ABC 7. And optimism is my word. I mean, I just think that, while COVID is contagious, I want everyone to have a positive attitude, knowing that there is light at the end of this long, dark COVID tunnel, and we're going to get through it together, and how we will rejoice when we can get back to the things we love doing best, and that's serving the community. And you're all stellar examples of doing just that. So thank you.
There will be so many, many hugs after all of this, I'm sure. Well, thank you all for participating today. Today's episode has shown how people make parks and how parks make people. I would like to thank our amazing park staff who shared their stories today about their role in how parks make Long Beach. You can see the story on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and you can follow us on social media at #ParksMakeLB. Stay tuned for future episodes of the Parks Make Long Beach series, highlighting the people, places, programs, and partnerships that make Long Beach parks. See you next time.